What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two for Two, your sports podcast for the culture by the voice of the culture. I'm your host, Quis, and I'm here with my boy Nell as always. We back with another episode for y'all, man. The NBA playoffs are here. It's gonna be NBA playoff talk today, tomorrow, the next day, and forever and on until we have a new champion or another same champion in the NBA, man. It's season 3, episode 36. Sit back, enjoy it. Now, my brother, I see you all decked out. I know how you feeling. Sixers gear on, big
It's that time of
playing
the year.
on. Talk to me, bro. How you feeling? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Excited. It's possible Philly New York matchup. 2 for 2. It feels like the only way that we could end the season.
Hey, it's inevitable. We hope. I'm kind of torn, right? I don't really want to see Embiid, and I don't want to see you first round, and we have to do this to one another. But it's only right. It's only right that we get a 2 for 2 masterpiece in the first round, and then the other one of us can just step off the pile for the remainder of the playoffs. We'll
Pretty
just
much.
we'll just come back around for football season, man. But Nell's right, man. It's playoff time. The NBA play-in is starting today as we record this on Tuesday. You all will hear this on Thursday. So the plan, most of them will, or at least the Knicks Sixers potential matchup will be decided by then. But let's just go ahead and get right into it, man. Playing on the East Side, we got the Sixers and the Heat at the 7-8, and we got the Bulls and the Hawks at 9 and 10. So I know where you're going, but go ahead. Sixers versus Heat. Now, tell me a little bit about how you feel. What's your confidence level as a Sixers fan going into this game, and how you feeling about this matchup with the Heat? And obviously, I'm assuming you're saying that y'all are gonna win, but just go ahead, break it down a little bit for me and for the people today.
Yeah, we for sure going to win that. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous cuz it's
Because you should.
Miami, Eric Spoelstra, like
Mhm.
we kind of know what they
Playoff,
do
playoff
when the
Jimmy.
playoffs start. But they did lose the first playing game last year at home to Atlanta. So I mean, they've shown that they can still drop one of these games. It's just a 1 game series, but that's kind of what worries me. Hopefully the Sixers come out, get off to a fast start. Miami just they're so well coached and they can come out and just throw these weird zones and defensive schemes at you. And, Embiid's still kind of getting healthy and, kind of getting back to his feel for a game. Like if they throw off his rhythm and, Maxey has a tough shooting game and, it's just 1 game, like we could find ourselves, playing for the eighth seed. But, I think being at home and, having Nick Nurse, I think that gives us a bit of an advantage this time around. And, I think that they're going to come out. It's going to be a close game, but I think they're going to come out with the win.
I'm really excited about this matchup. It's a contrast of you got two really elite scorers in Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey for the Sixers, and you have a very strong knit culture. They play really good team basketball, right? We got playoff Jimmy. He's been talking his mess for the last couple of weeks about what's about to go down. So he's got to cash that check one more time. But also the scariest thing about the Heat, and to your point, is that they have so many guys that like just kind of come out of the woodwork, right? Like you might get Nikola Jovic a 20 ball, right? Harrow is really talented. Bam Adebayo, he might decide he wants to go for 25 one game, and you just like, and that's what's tough, right? For y'all in the game where it's 1 game, like you said, it's 1 game. They've had what, 3 days off or 2 days off, or I guess it'll be 3 for y'all by that time. So 3 days off for Miami and Coach Spoelstra to try to conjure up something to slow down Embiid, slow down Maxey. But like you said, Nick Nurse, the guy who you said was your real X factor for your team this year. And I saw it on Twitter today. They were talking about how a lot of people aren't taking into account what added Nick Nurse to that Sixers, or making him the head coach, what that has done for you all. So, I mean, I'm feeling Philly as well. I'm
As you
be
should.
honest. I'm be honest.
And you know what that comes with.
I don't want it. I don't want it to be Philly, right? I don't want our friendship to have to be in the balance so soon. I would love to not have to see Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. But also though, I really want to play Miami because the Knicks Heat thing it's real. That's a rivalry. You know what I'm saying? We have a rivalry, but the Knicks and Heat is more history. Too much history
I
to
feel
it.
that.
Very well documented, right? Beat us in the playoffs last year. The
No
Heat took out
MVP, easy way out.
no, no,
Yeah,
no, not an easy way out. No, listen, let me get my point across.
my
We
bad.
got bad blood. Last 2 seasons, Miami has injured Julius Randle, right? You got Bam last year, and this year you got Jaime Jaquez taking the man out the air, ruining his shoulder. So we owe them something. It's not about y'all now. It's not about what y'all got. It's about what we owe to the Heat. Now, for your sake, I would hate for you to have to go into a desperation 8 seed fight. But I mean, either way, I'm confident y'all will handle business. But it's gonna be a good
I like our
matchup, man.
chances.
I like your chances as well. I mean, like you said, you got an MVP. I've been talking about it all day with different people. Like, I love Embiid. You know, I was sitting here talking crazy saying he was gonna be a Knick this year. You know, I'm gonna keep putting into the atmosphere. My mother told me manifestation is real. You know, it's power in the tongue. You gotta speak it. You know, speak light into things. And if by some odd chance you all don't beat the Heat, and if by some odd chance you lose your next game,
Still don't expect it.
I'm just
Don't
kidding.
get your hopes up.
I'm just kidding. Nell's got a good matchup, man. Nell and the Sixers. I am gonna roll with the Sixers in this one. Nell, I think, kind of to your point, it'll be a good game. I could see it being pretty low scoring. I think both coaches are going to have a very solid defensive plan in place, right? You know, you guys switch it up a little bit. You know, y'all have some pretty good wings in terms of defensively. So I think you got some guys to throw at Jimmy Butler as well. Nobody's going to guard Joel Embiid. Simple as that. Bam Adebayo will give his best effort. Great player, but it's Joel Embiid. So, hey, we're 2 for 2 so far. So we're gonna go. Let's flip to the West. 7-8. All right. You got the Lakers versus New Orleans Pelicans. A matchup that we just saw on Sunday where the Lakers beat the brakes off of them. Didn't even look close. Granted, Brandon Ingram, that was his first game back. Getting back acclimated. Pretty high stake game. But what we've learned about the Lakers now is that when the Lakers need a win around this time, they have a guy by the name of LeBron James. They have a guy by the name of Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis had 30 against the Pelicans on Sunday, but it would be just our luck. AD has 30 on Sunday, then goes out here and lays an egg. It would be just our luck that the Austin Reeves magic runs out. Do you think the Pelicans are going to beat the Lakers in this playing game to go ahead and face the Denver Nuggets? And I also have to put it out there. There's people out here that are saying the Lakers should lose this game. I just want to address this personally. Now I can't even lie. I think that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You will never in the life hear a competitor talk about losing a game. A competitor is not. Mind the Game is an entire podcast that LeBron James has made it very, very, very clear how he feels about people that do not compete, people who are lazy, people who have no desire to win. There's no way in hell y'all think LeBron James will go out here and throw a game because he's afraid to play Nikola Jokic. It's just not going to happen. But go ahead. How do you
100%.
feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this Lakers versus Pelicans matchup?
Yeah, I don't think the Pelicans got a chance. They've lost to the Lakers all three
Oh yeah,
meetings this
every
year.
time. Yeah.
And every game hasn't been close. It's just something about the matchup.
It's a bad
LeBron
matchup.
dominates.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean they will be at home again. I mean, trying to get, back to back games on the road can be tough for the Lakers, but obviously I'm gonna trust LeBron in a 1 game situation over pretty much anybody. Like you said, Brandon Ingram's kind of just getting back after his little injury. Zion's going to have to be special. CJ McCollum's going to have a really good game. They got a good bench. But I think in this situation, LeBron and Anthony Davis, when the time calls for them to be great, they more times than not answer the call in a 1 game situation. I'm not going against LeBron.
Yeah, I think that's it's simply put. Like the Pelicans are one of those teams that we always talk about. They could be pretty good, like they have enough, like they have the pieces, right? You have a Zion, Bi. You got two guys that are that can really teeter on that line of like superstardom. I mean, I think Zion's a superstar when he's healthy and playing, but there's an adjustment, right? Zion's been playing without Bi for the last month, 2 months, maybe more. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But with that, we saw Zion take a more facilitator approach. Running the offense, getting involved that way. But with Bi needs the same thing. And they're young. It would require kind of similar to how I said with the Sixers and the Heat, it would require somebody to have a really, really big game. A CJ McCollum 30 piece, right? Like Trey Murphy come out, hit 6 threes, something like just because the Lakers it's a bad matchup for them. And that's what the playoffs is about. It's all about matchups. And this for the Pelicans is a bad matchup. Now, can they go down and beat Golden State? Maybe. That's a little bit better of a matchup for them. Could they maybe beat the Kings? Better matchup for them. But like you said, to your point, LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a must win.
Taking the King every time.
We're gonna go with the King, and that's just simple as that. All right, so in the East, we're gonna go back for the 9-10. You got the Chicago Bulls versus the Atlanta Hawks. I'm not gonna lie, two teams. The East was so weird that I kind of forgot that these teams were like still like. I think Trae Young had missed like the last month of the season, and then I see him pop up playing. I'm like,
DeJounte Murray was going crazy.
I'm like, what? I'm like,
DeJounte
DeJounte
he was able to put up 44 shots.
Yeah, exactly, and that's going to change. So Trae Young is back. The Hawks, they rested Clint Capella the other night. I thought that was so funny. That's why I had to say it. I'm like, Clint Capella don't deserve no rest, but like whatever. They're going against the Bulls, man. DeMar DeRozan, Billy Donovan, Kobe White, Vucevic, those guys. Alex Caruso, your boy, right? Your boy that just got 40 put on his head, on that bald head of his. Yeah. I'm feeling like that. This is a toss up for me. I can't lie. This is one of those matches where like, hey, if they play 3 nights in a row, I couldn't tell you who's gonna win. I think I'm leaning with the Hawks only because they have those two guys in DeJounte Murray and Trae Young that if one of them catch fire, it's gonna be a long night. The Bulls, they got DeRozan, great player, a little bit better defensively. Dang, do I like the Hawks? Damn.
Yeah, be careful. I'm rolling with the Bulls.
I actually don't like the Hawks ever. Like ever since that Trae Young villain stuff that he did in New York, like I don't even care for the Hawks. Like I don't care.
I mean, like I know they sacked Clint Capella, but giving up 157.
That's what I'm saying. They don't guard anybody.
It's a lot more reasons that defense looked awful the other night, other than Clint Capella. So
you're right.
That defense isn't changing much. I think the Bulls. Obviously you got Caruso, you got some guys. They rebound. They played a great game against the Knicks the other day. I just think they've kind of looked like the better team down the stretch. Obviously, it's a low bar being the 9 and 10 seed, but I think Kobe White, has had a fantastic season. Drummond's been good off the bench. Yeah, and both teams are dealing with a bunch of starters being out, but I think with Trae Young just kind of getting back, hasn't really had enough time to kind of really get back into his rhythm. I'm gonna give the Bulls a chance. They won the play-in game last year. I think they beat Toronto, or I think. Either way, I'm gonna say they get it done this year. I'm gonna say they get they win the play-in game this year.
Okay, so they win the play-in game. Let's say y'all take care of business. Bulls go on to play Miami.
Yeah, I think 7-8 is gonna stay Miami, Philly, regardless.
All right, so that's our.
None of these play-in teams got a chance of sneaking in.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the other 9 and 10, a little bit more fireworks to this one, a little bit bigger names, it's a little bit better teams. Two teams that we've seen have success. Now the Kings, they were much better last season. They were like the 2 seed or something, I think. And I told you then, I didn't believe it. It was crazy. But you got Warriors Kings, Steph Curry, De'Aaron Fox, DeMontis Sabonis, Draymond Green. You got Klay Thompson. You got Keegan Murray, Malik Monk. Is Malik Monk back?
Malik Monk is out. Monk is out. Herter is out.
Okay.
So big pieces out for the Kings.
So 2 of their better offensive guys, shooter, scorer, Gone for the Kings. But the Warriors haven't been great. Is Kaminga back?
I believe he is.
All right. So Warriors are at full strength. Are you going with the Warriors? Are you going with the chef? Are we trusting? I was talking to somebody and like because I said it,
Trust.
I kind of
Am I trusting Steph Curry? Of course, I'm trusting Steph Curry. Is that
okay.
that's
Okay.
crazy? That's got to even be a question.
Hey, I just had to ask. I have to ask. I trust him. I don't trust Draymond Green. I literally had this epiphany today that Draymond gonna be all riled up and do something dumb and get ejected in the first minute of the game, and then we all gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I ain't even supposed to be cussing out here, but whatever.
So I got to give him like at least like a little bit of credit. I feel like he's just like he's got to be too smart to do something like that, right? Like
No, just
I can
imagine.
understand deep into a playoff series. I mean, he's going to take his chances. He's
But you know
heated
him and Sabonis have history.
in a one game scenario.
You know they have history. This is Draymond Green. He was about to fight Steve Kerr for taking him out the game the other night, and rightfully so. But
I,
we can't talk
I feel
about
like
what we think he's smart enough to do.
I think he's smarter than
Draymond will
that.
get ejected and then live stream a podcast watching the game from
I
the.
think he's smart. I'm giving him credit. I think he's smarter than that.
So we're going with the Warriors in a close one, runaway.
Yeah, I don't
Big
think it'll be a runaway. I think it'll be. I mean, it could be, but Kings are at home, so a little bit of an advantage there. But obviously, we saw Game 7 last year on the road. Steph Curry 50 points. He's definitely going to have to play great. They've been pretty good last 8-10 games. Coming into the playoffs. So they're coming in with some momentum. Kings are missing some guys. We saw how they played Sabonis last year in the playoffs, kind of forced him to try to be a scorer, and he was reluctant to shoot. We'll see kind of what his approach is this year, because I'm sure they'll play him the same way and try to stop those dribble handoffs and cuts. The way the Kings like to play offense. So we'll see, but I like the Warriors. They're coming in hot. They're the healthier team. And I trust Steph Curry in a one game scenario.
So same question as the other side. We trust Steph Curry in a one game scenario. The Lakers, we say the Lakers take care of business. Do the Warriors go ahead and beat the Pelicans and go have a dance with OKC?
Now I think this is going to be a tougher matchup for the Warriors. They've had some good battles with the Pelicans this year. The Pelicans could win that. I can see if Steph has a hot night, Clay, picks it up and has a good shooting night. I could see the Warriors winning it, but I do like the Pelicans' chances. They've been a really good team all year. I do like their chances of beating the Warriors at home. If
So you
they
trust
lose to the
Steph.
Lakers,
You
I trust
trust.
That's the only reason I'm giving them a chance,
Now we're
because
talking about the supporting cast.
Warriors have gotten in their own way, multiple times this year, whether it be turnovers, whether it be, Draymond Green, Klay
Steve Kerr.
Thompson, rough shooting nights. Wiggins hasn't, been the same two-way player that he was a few years ago. So, I mean, there's a reason they were the 10th seed. They've got holes in their game. The Pelicans, and Zion's just such a bully. And, they've got size with Valanciunas. They've got a deep bench. So, I mean, they can throw a lot of guys at you. So, I wouldn't necessarily sleep on the Pelicans and, make it a foregone conclusion that we're going to have Lakers, Warriors in that 7-8 spot. But, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to take that right now.
Okay, fair enough. We're gonna go with the teams that have been there, that understand. It feels like the Pelicans and the Kings are those two franchises that are kind of on the cusp of breaking through. They probably need another guy or one of their guys to take another leap before we can really crown them. I'm not comfortable going against Steph Curry in any scenario. I think I do think if Draymond Green is locked in, this is a Draymond Green like I get a triple double tonight, I get a triple double the next night, and me and my boys win, and then we go
Like
play. Okay,
we've seen the Warriors lose plenty of play-in games before. They lost
I
to the
mean,
Grizzlies one
yeah,
year, lost to the Lakers. So I mean, it
I'm
can
not saying
happen.
you wouldn't, but the Grizzlies, I mean, they don't have to play the Grizzlies, and they don't have to play the Lakers. Maybe.
Maybe. I'm
Maybe.
just saying. I think the Pelicans.
I
I
mean,
think
no,
that's a matchup.
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. That's the best part about this whole time. So before we get into the rest of the season, or the other matchups, I guess we got a 1 seed out west, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then we have the 2 seed out west being the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions. So the way we looking at it, right? We thinking Lakers, Nuggets. We thinking Thunder, maybe Pelicans, Thunder, maybe Warriors. But if you're if you're the Thunder and the Nuggets, who are you hoping for? What team do you think is a perfect matchup for that young up and coming Thunder team?
If
And
you're
then who
if
you
you're the Thunder, you're praying the Lakers lose that first game. Well,
okay,
actually, no. You hope they win it.
right? Because you don't want that.
Yeah.
You
They
don't
don't,
want that.
I don't,
I told somebody today earlier. Somebody earlier today was trying to
that's a
talk to me
gimme
about.
series for Braun and AD.
I was like, bro, when AD and Bron put that shoulder in the Chet and put the shoulder in the Jalen Williams, it's a different. It's a this playoff bump now. You getting Chet getting folded. Love him to death, but it's just not enough for him to do by himself. And This is not me saying he's not going to play well. Not me. This isn't me saying he can't hold his own. It's
Yeah,
just
they don't have enough size.
it's
That's
just,
kind of
right.
one of
Chet
the
can't go
knocks on their
7 game
team.
series of just
And
Chet.
Lakers got AD
Yeah.
throw a bunch of guys at you, and LeBron James. Nothing they're gonna be able to
So
do.
so do the Nuggets care who they play? I do. I mean, if I'm the Nuggets,
I don't think
would you
the
want to play
Nuggets care,
Lakers?
but the Pelicans have been a much better. The Pelicans been a much better matchup for them this season. They were 2-2 this year. Zion is such a bully. They kind of just really don't have a matchup for them. They've got a deep bench, some pretty good shooters and defenders. So, I mean, it's a better matchup. Obviously Denver would be favored anyway, but you know, I think with the Lakers psychologically, I think they just know that they have their number. So, if they see the Lakers, that's an easy 4 or 5 game, series. Pelicans, it could be the same, but it might be, they face a couple more challenges.
Okay, so that's fair. I'm not. I mean, I don't really. I've been watching the Nuggets all year, man, and
Yeah. Only team on upset alert is OKC. I
yeah, I
mean,
was gonna say
Denver is cool.
I don't I don't think the Nuggets are losing to anybody, if I'm honest. But we'll get to that. Out east, man. Out east, you got the 1 seed Boston Celtics. And you got your 2 seed Knicks, man. Your 2 seed Knicks. Fun fact, now I sent this to you and Walt. The 1 and 2 seeds on both sides were the only 4 teams in the league that ranked in the top 5 in offense and defensive efficiency.
It's a
So
cute little stat.
it is. I love that. The Knicks are included in that stat. That is so good to see. But anyway, you got the Celtics, you got the Knicks. If you're the Celtics, I know the Celtics don't want to see the Sixers. Shoot. I
You
don't think they
sure?
want to see Miami. Personally. It's that time of year for the Celtics to go ahead and piss everybody off because they're gonna trick. But go ahead. Who should those teams prefer? The Knicks and the Celtics. The 1 and 2 out east, out in the Eastern Conference. Who are you thinking?
I think the Celtics would prefer the Sixers, honestly.
I mean, over
I think it's
Miami.
kind of, yeah. I mean, they played Miami, 4 out of the past 5 years, and it's kind of
It's
always
not
been
going
back
to.
and forth. They got Miami got them last year. Um, I think Miami's up 2-1 in the playoff series, in the Jimmy Tatum era. So, they've got a bit of an edge there too. I think Boston, obviously, same with the Nuggets, they'd be favored either way, but that's a much tougher matchup. Going against a team that knows you really well and has, been in playoff battles with you, versus the Sixers, who, again, it's kind of like the Lakers Nuggets psychologically. It's just like
Yeah, Al
we
Horford
haven't beat
does. Al
we
Horford
haven't
be
beaten that
strapping
team in a
you.
series. They relax, yo. They
Dog.
always find,
You
yo,
know it, though. I forgot.
he be catching him off injury all the time. So relax.
Yo, that's funny.
He's always catching him off injury. So chill.
Al Horford fleeced
Um,
y'all.
Shut up. Anyway,
I'm
Laugh
sorry.
now, cry later. Laugh now. That's cool. Get it all out now.
I hope y'all play Boston. So,
No, I know you
don't
do,
dodge me, done. I hope so. I hope so. Oh man, we
but I
got
mean, I just think they got the edge on us. You know, Embiid versus Kristaps, that definitely does favor Embiid, but overall Boston's just got a bunch of firepower. They seem to just always beat us, so I feel like they'd probably look more forward to the Sixers, but doesn't matter to them. They should 64 wins this year. Favorites to win it all, so they shouldn't be afraid of anyone.
and the Knicks.
Honestly, I don't know, man.
I already told you who we want to play. We
I just
held
feel
them to
like
what?
Miami. I feel like Miami would beat y'all. I don't know why. Like I feel like you really shouldn't want that smoke. I feel like you honestly. I kind of feel like you got a better chance of beating the Sixers than you
I think
do
we
of
have.
beating Miami.
I think we have a great chance to beat both of you.
I mean, you got a
MVP Brian.
chance. You have a chance.
We don't even have to speak on the Knicks. You don't have to do that. Let me do it.
Please.
I mean, I want Miami. I told you already. I get it, right? Like the contrast, like the. Oh no, you're right. You kind of got me. The defensive part for Miami. I don't like how they guard my boy Brunson, man. They be hurting people too.
Like, if Jimmy get on that stuff where he just dropping,
We got OG
30,
and
40
Nogi. We got
balls,
OG. We got OG. That ain't happening.
just saying, bro, they had Drew and Giannis and Tatum and Jaylen Brown and like bro's getting off.
Would you just compare them to the best defensive player in the league?
Bro.
Drew, did you
Bro.
just say Drew Holiday?
Either way, he went up against two good defensive teams and he went off. Went up against them Knicks too.
And he didn't go off. And we ain't have OG
He had
then.
a messed up ankle. He had a messed up ankle that series.
His
He
ankles.
was about to go
Oh,
off. He was about to go
okay.
off. He went off enough.
We'll just let that go.
But now they got Terry Rozier too, another guy that can he can get some buckets. He can get some buckets now.
I would love nothing more than for Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero to get into a chucking match and Jimmy cuss everybody out.
You just better hope that those shots ain't going in on that specific night.
You're right. That's true. Okay, look, that's enough. Leave my Knicks out of this. We'll see whoever we see. I put it on Instagram. I said whoever wanted can get it. New York versus everybody.
I saw.
A lot of people saw. A lot of people had something to say too, but it's okay. It's okay. So on the other side, man, we got some good series out in the East, out in the West, man. 3-6 matchup. Bucks versus Pacers. Give me your series prediction. Giannis might miss the beginning of that series now. The Pacers and the Bucks have bad blood. Pacers don't like the Bucks. Bucks don't like the Pacers. Do you think the Pacers
I heard if the Bucks win this, they'll give them the real 64-point ball.
So what you saying?
Honestly, I was kind of hoping that the Sixers could play the Bucks in the first round because that's how bad they were looking. That's how bad they were looking. Especially with Giannis kind of questionable. I think he'll eventually get out there, but I mean, even missing a game or two, I think that gives the Pacers like a huge advantage if that happens. If Halliburton can kind of get back into the groove that he was in that first half of the season, where the Bucks beat them, 4 out of 5 times. I think they've got a great chance. I mean, the way he pushes the pace, they don't really have, all their bigs are kind of, slow, and, you got Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis. Then, like, especially if Giannis doesn't play, who else scores for them? Dame has kind of been up and down scoring.
Said Dame on tour with his shooting percentages this year.
Yeah, so like he didn't have a great end to the season. Middleton hasn't kind of looked the way he looked when they won a championship back in 21, 22, whatever that was. He doesn't look like the Batman that he
Bobby
used to
Portis
be.
looks like their tertiary scorer right now, and he come off the bench. Bobby, if Giannis doesn't play, Bobby Portis is I truly believe Bobby Portis has a chance to lead them in scoring.
It's definitely a chance.
That's not a good sign.
Then you're out there playing Pat Beverly. That's not going to add anything scoring wise. So like I just like, especially we see the way the Pacers push tempo. In those first couple of meetings, they didn't have Siakam. That adds another guy defensively for them that they didn't have. We know they still don't play much defense, but it's another guy that competes. Someone that you can throw on Giannis. Played in Toronto when they had some good defensive matchups and schemes against him. So I think the Pacers got a great chance. Especially depending on how Giannis looks. But if Halliburton, can dominate and push pace the way he did, early in the season when he played them, I think the Bucks transition defense is a little better than it was early in the year. But the way they ended that season was just so bad, and especially with Giannis, status up in the air. I give the Pacers a great chance, but I'm gonna pick the Bucks right now just cause.
Bucks in 6, 7.
It's gonna take 7. It's gonna take 7 if they win. I think so.
Okay. I mean, the Pacers haven't looked the same.
They haven't,
Reese hasn't been the same guy.
They give up the most paint points in the league, but it ain't gonna matter much if Giannis ain't on the court.
That's true. If Giannis isn't on the floor, it's definitely going 6 or 7. If Giannis can figure out the calf strain, I see 5, maybe 4 if he plays every game. But
I see it still going 6 or 7, even if Giannis is playing.
It relies a lot on Dame, like you said. Like Dame has to. He's on our list of guys that have a lot to prove for a reason. He has to show something. There's a different, like they saying it don't look like he is even happy in Milwaukee. It don't look like the synergy's working. He kind of
said that boy is sad.
Yeah, I mean it's boring. It's Wisconsin. I mean, if we got Wisconsin
in South Beach,
if we got Wisconsin listeners, man, let me know what Dame be on out there, because there's got to be something. But okay, on the other side, we got the Timberwolves. Surprise team this year for some people, me being included, but they've been consistent all year. They were early 1 seed. They were the number 1 in the West early. I remember talking about it on the pod really, really early in the season. I didn't think they'd stay right there, but I mean, shoot, you got to Sunday and they were a game out. And what do you get to do? You get to play the team that just beat you, and the Phoenix Suns. You get Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. Grayson Allen's playing great right now. He just signed an extension. Shout out to Grayson. How you see this one going? Cat is back for the Wolves. Ant is playoff time. It's time for him to show something. Rudy Gobert, the guy that everybody loves. But I mean, you're going against the Slim Reaper and D Book. And as Walt would say, the sorriest 30-point man ever, or whatever it was in terms of Brad Beal. Who you got, man?
I'm not gonna lie, I like the Suns' chances. I do too. I like the Suns. I love the Suns' chances. 3-0 against them this year. Cat obviously just getting back off that injury. We'll see how effective he can be. This is kind of always the issue once we get to the playoffs with teams that have Rudy Gobert. Once we start playing in the half court, and teams can go small and kind of keep him from out the paint, he becomes just kind of useless and much less effective when he can't protect the rim. So there's a bunch of lineups that the Suns can throw out to kind of keep him out the paint. If you start, you got, obviously you're going to have Cat and Rudy out there on the court at the same time. Who guards Kevin Durant? Yeah. Who does Cat guard? If he's not on KD.
We're going to need a lot of Nas Reed. They're going to need a lot of Nas Reed in this.
Yeah. So, I mean, that honestly could be one of their best options. Like if he was like the starter, I might, then pick Minnesota.
Move Cat to the 5, Nas at the 4. You go what? Conley, Ant. You want a defensive chance, McDaniels, right? And then you gotta
add McDaniels.
You got Nas Reed and Cat. I mean, that's your best chance to match up with them.
But we know Rudy's going to be out there for 30, 40 minutes. So we'll see how effective he can be. But, if he can't be effective, I think Book and KD and, Grayson Allen, him trying to guard the paint and guard the perimeter, just going to lead to a bunch of threes. Grayson's been shooting lights out. Bradley Beal starting to get hot. He had 30 something against them in that last game. So playoff book, playoff KD is time to show up. So I think the Suns got a great chance. I can see them winning this in 6.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Suns. I like Suns in really in like 5.
Damn.
I just I want Ant to
give
go
Ant, man.
crazy.
I'm gonna give Ant a little credit.
Ant gonna have to go crazy because I know what KD about to do. I know what KD about to do, and like I don't like Rudy Gobert. So it's my time to let it fly. If he on the floor, like you said, for 30 plus minutes a game, 5. Simple as that. See you next year. They're gonna trade Cat. They're gonna blow it up and ruin everything. So I think we both went with the Suns. That's cool. Out east, we have the 4-5. We got the sorry tanking Cavs. For reference, everyone, the Cavs purposely started losing. They did not want no parts of Philly. They did not want no parts of Miami. They had a chance at the 2 seed on Sunday and just said, forget it.
I mean, like, it's sad, but
Doc
it is
followed.
low key. It is low key genius, man.
So real quick, we'll throw this in there. We saw a tweet. We talked about it now. Do you agree? Because of this, because this has been happening, a lot of people have been talking now. The top 2 seeds earn those top 2 seeds. How do you feel about those teams being able to decide who they play out of these playing teams? You think it's dumb? You think it's a good incentive?
I don't know. It just sounds kind of stupid to me. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Like a
mean,
team picking another team. Like it just
yeah,
don't feel right.
I think it would incentivize, winning, whatever. But I also get the other side of it. I mean, those teams at the end, those losing teams, maybe if you the Lakers, right, and Denver has a chance to say, oh yeah, come on out here and see us. You know what I'm saying? You might be like, shit, let me go ahead and get 6. Let me AD, I need you to suit up tomorrow. You might, but you never know. I mean, obviously, like the good thing the thing about basketball is, night in and night out, anybody can be beat, right? Like, I never like to say teams are losing on purpose. In this regard, we did see Doc call the dogs off, but I mean, they also were just getting beat, right? I mean, the Cavs, they didn't play nobody, and then they didn't even try. So, I mean, they got Jonte Porter over here betting on himself in the middle of the game. That's an unserious franchise to begin with. So, but anyway, back to I saw this series, man. Now they said this series is going to be the basketball that everybody claims that they love, but it's going to have the least amount of viewership. And I agree, right? It's going to be a tough defensive team. I mean, a defensive matchup, some low scoring games. But I think people are also saying that more so because of who it is. A lot of people aren't giving credit to Paolo Banchero, who in year 2 took the Magic not just from nothing, but they're a top 5 seed in the East. Got to give a guy some credit. Paolo and my boy Franz, doing it up over there. They have a decent squad. The Cavs, they got Darius Garland. The Cavs are that team that they got some good names. Like you would recognize Darius Garland, right? The casual fan might know who that is. Donovan Mitchell. You got Jared Allen. You got Evan Mobley. You got Max Strus. You brought him over. Karis LeVert. Georges Niang. They got some guys, but it's like the roster fit, the roster synergy just is off. There was a time in this season though where they were on 15-game win streak or something crazy. So
Yeah, they was hot.
So they're a team that can get hot and win a lot of games. They have enough, but got 7 games, 7-game series, Cavs Magic, for a chance to go on and play the winner of that 1-8 matchup. Where you going?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Cleveland. You said we need to, give the Cavs and Orlando, some more credit, but I think we're gonna see a couple games
Where it's like
high 70s, low 80s. Like it could happen. Magic primarily, they try to get into the paint. Don't have a lot of great 3-point shooters. Banchero's improving, but not really a 3-point shooter. Fultz, Suggs, guys that can knock it down, but they don't have a lot of snipers on that team. So they try to get everything going to the basket, going to the rim.
yeah.
Obviously, the Cavs have great rim protection and Allen and Mobley. Offensively, obviously because they play two bigs, it can get, a little fuzzy down on that end too. Donovan Mitchell is going to have a much better playoff performance this year than he did last year against the Knicks.
Just
Or else,
you know why that was. Home is where the heart is. He misses it. He wants to be a Knick. But go ahead.
oh, so you saying the league needs to investigate him too?
And if it gets him off of the Cavs so he can come to New York, even better. Investigate.
Yeah, I think the Cavs should win this, but now that I bring up that Donovan Mitchell, last year against New York,
And he hasn't been looking like himself all season,
it
really.
like
Well, since injury.
yeah, like it definitely wouldn't surprise me if Orlando wins this series. But like I said, I think it's still a very young team. Banchero's first playoff series, I think they can throw a lot of different things at him defensively to kind of throw his game off. We'll see how he adjusts to that, but I think the Cavs, especially have a bit more playoff experience and a bit more shot making in the half court with Garland and Mitchell. So I'm gonna go with the Cavs in 6.
Okay, I mean, this one's tough, right? I mean, like you said, it's going to be physical. The Cavs play a lot of bigs. And I mean, the Magic kind of do too, right? Paolo is kind of that in between 3-4 hybrid forward right now, right? He likes to get in the paint, bang a little bit, create shots for the guys. They got Wendell Carter that plays down there with him. He can stretch the floor a little bit, but he's more of a interior presence sometimes as well. They got Jonathan Isaac, a guy that's
Now
a big.
that guy
He's
that could be
actually
the that could be
he's
the
actually really
one of the
good.
best defensive players in the league.
No. So
Like
this is the thing. I
like
do you remember when I
he
texted
is
y'all?
elite. He is elite on that end.
When I texted y'all, and I literally sat there and watched like them play again. I don't remember who they were playing. And I was like, wow, like I see why he was drafted as high as he was, and I see why injuries, his own political stance and personal stance in life. I see why they don't care. He's really
He's the
good.
definition. He's
He's
the
really good.
definition of a defensive playmaker in the
Yeah,
NBA.
no,
Like
he's really
blocks, steals, deflections. Like
he's really good.
I saw him block up Dame, on Sunday several plays. Like
Yeah. This
yeah,
series could go either way. Now I'm low.
that
I'm
boy's a
thinking it's going.
locksmith.
I'm gonna say it's going 7, just because it's gonna get nasty. It's gonna take.
That's good.
It's gonna take Donovan Mitchell getting back to his peak performance to really
Let's
save the
let's
time.
bring back those Pistons Pacers type
Nell,
games.
Nell is killing me.
69, 70,
This is
71,
gonna be the only
68. Like
series. It's gonna be the
give me
only
some of
series
that.
Nell watches outside of the Sixers team.
I'm locked into everything, baby.
That's gonna be good, man. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Cavs in 7. Home court is important. The Magic, the youth, like you said, they got a lot of good players, but they're all kind
It
of
wasn't
young.
important for the Cavs last year.
That's because they played the Knicks. Beast. Give the people the
Was
details, man.
was it the Knicks or was it just the Cavs
Details.
being the Cavs?
Details. Give them the details. Don't worry about that, man. I'm going Cavs in 7. They'll hold it down. I think the Magic are too young. But out west, this is my favorite matchup, and I'm getting
Says
kind
a
of upset
doozy.
because Kawhi. They talking about my man knee swollen again. I don't have time for that, but I'm getting sick of him. I just gotta I'm assuming he's okay only because I think they just said Kawhi takes last USA basketball spot for the Olympics. They take
Okay.
Kawhi out there to Paris. Now I don't think Kawhi would commit to that if his knee was really busted up, but we also know Kawhi. I mean, if he plays, top 5. If he doesn't play, we're putting a lot of pressure on playoff P. And we remember what playoff P did last time. So,
More
Luka,
pressure on Harden too.
more pressure on Harden. Luka and the Mavs, he's 0-2 against these guys. We talked about it. This is one of our favorite series. Kawhi fully healthy? Where you going?
It's tough.
It is.
Kind of like the Mavs right now.
That excuse me, goddamn. They're 16-2 with this new lineup they got.
Defense looking a lot better.
Do we trust James Harden and Paul George? That's what it comes down to.
We know Luka's gonna give them the business.
We know
But
what Luka
now,
gonna do. We know what Kyrie gonna do as well.
now they also gotta worry about Kyrie in the half court. Like you got probably two of the best, half court isolation players in the league.
Yeah,
And
and
we've seen Luka almost, single handedly, take out the Clippers on multiple occasions almost, and now he's got, another co-star to go with him. So I love the way they've been playing. Gafford and PJ Washington, added some defense and rebound and physicality that they didn't have earlier in the season. So like right now, and I'm kind of, I'm praying for James Harden's downfall. I obviously want the first round exit, so that way PG is like, yeah, let me pack my bags and head to Philly. And so I'm going with the Mavs. I'm going with the Mavs. They've been playing high level
yeah,
basketball on both ends for a little over a month. Luka, has got the Clippers number. I think it's his time to get a win over his rival.
all right. I mean, either way, if Kawhi is not 100, if he plays, I doubt he's 100%. Even if he is 100%, he ain't played in what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The Clippers, they're one of the heaviest switching teams in the NBA. The Mavericks have two of the best isolation scorers in the NBA's history. I
Good
hate to say
luck.
it, my roommate Brill, big Kawhi Leonard fan. If he was in here right now, he'd probably pop up on the screen. He's gonna be mad. I'm gonna say this, but I like the Mavericks too. I think it's time. I think Kyrie is the perfect uh, guy to go alongside Luka. I think their chemistry is starting to really improve. Right, we're starting to really see them kind of gel, mesh together. Um, and in the off chance that Luka has a bad night, which we know a bad night for Luka is still 30. Maybe it's 30, 10, and 10 still. I think Kyrie picks up the slack. I think, like you said, adding PJ Washington helps that team. Daniel Gafford, guy doesn't miss a single shot. He only dunks anyway, but he don't miss.
Yeah, their pick and roll game since he's got their
It's
lobs been
been vicious.
crazy.
And if the Clippers try to do that switching, I'm looking at Fat Harden every single time down and saying, you got to guard Luka
Yeah,
Doncic.
I saw some crazy numbers like he's shooting like something like 48%, 60 something percent or something like that from three when Zubac switches out on him. So
Yeah, we're getting the Zubac
we'll,
switch, and we're going to
we'll
town.
see how long Zubac can stay on the floor, and James Harden likes to have a nice big to
If
play pick and
If
roll with.
Kawhi's, yeah,
So we'll see
Kawhi's gonna
how
have to
those
play.
adjustments go.
They're gonna have to get to a point where there's a lineup where Kawhi's running the five. Kawhi gonna be mad at everybody because he don't like doing stuff like that. Um, and then I think that's gonna hurt them a little bit on the other end because, like you said, Daniel Gafford's gonna bang. PJ Washington's gonna bang. So and Luca, I mean,
Pause.
Luca gets down there and yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Luca gets down there and
sorry.
mix it up as well. It's okay, no, it's all right, it's all right. So I'm gonna go with the Mavericks as well, man. I think Mavs in 6.
It's got to be 6.
Gotta be,
It's got to
gotta be.
be. If there's anybody that can possibly outplay Luca in a playoff series, though,
It is Kawhi,
it's a healthy Kawhi Leonard. So
absolutely.
he's
And like
going
I
to
said,
be healthy, and we saw how he looked last year in that first game against the Suns when they were clear underdogs, and he came in and kind of reminded everyone for a game or two, what playoff Kawhi is all about. So it's really all just on him being healthy. They've got a chance, but I still think the Mavs have been playing really well on both ends. So I'm rocking with Luka. He's been amazing all season.
yeah. Okay. I mean, like you said, healthy Kawhi might change my perspective a little bit, but I'll know within the first 10 minutes of that first game. If Kawhi plays, I'll know within the first 10 minutes of how that series is gonna go. Um, but he is one of those guys, and I don't want anybody to think that we hate him because we know, for sure.
You talking about Kawhi? Don't do that, yeah. Don't bring up memories like that.
All right, man. Let me stop.
That
We're
man
gonna
averaged
move right
35
along.
on like 60%. Yeah, it was nuts.
Nasty, nasty. All right, so we're gonna move along, man. That's gonna wrap that up for us. Just tell me now, what first round matchup are you most looking forward to? Is it that Clippers Mavs? Is it the
It's that
potential
Sixers
Knicks
Knicks.
Sixers?
It's that
Ooh,
Sixers Knicks,
hey,
boy. Honestly, I
they
can't
said,
like have we ever played the Knicks in a playoff series? If we have, it had to be like
yeah,
40s,
not
50s,
recently. Yeah,
60s, like
not
recent
recently,
memory. Like I don't think,
because we were both really bad for a while.
yeah. Or
Then the
like we
Knicks
would be
were
like
like
mid
decent.
tier, like
Yeah,
7, 8, like 6, like so. Yeah,
maybe
it's gonna be like the atmosphere is gonna be crazy because you know it's gonna
we
be
might
Knicks.
have to do.
It's gonna be Knicks fans traveling to Philly. You know, it's gonna be Sixers fans all
Them
up in New
tickets are about to
York.
be crazy. I
So
think I
like
already saw like it's like the cheapest Nick game, the cheapest playoff seat for the Knicks as of like 2 days ago was like 370. And that was just the cheapest.
man,
Like
it is crazy to get
I
into the
would love
Garden.
to go to a game, but I would
I
love
would
for
love.
us to go to a
I'd love to
game.
see a playoff game in the Garden. That would be special.
Hey man, I I'll blow through the savings, man. If we get a game seven,
Look, man, I went to WrestleMania. I'm going to Aruba. Like, I guess it's just a year of memory. So, like, we might
hey,
as well.
we might as well. We'll have to look into that, man. If y'all take care of business tomorrow, me, you, and Walt, we're gonna have to do some coordinating, man. We're gonna have to make it happen. We gotta
Yeah, we.
at least one game. Whether I love for it to be the Garden, but if we gotta go to Philly, I'll be in that joint
I'm
with you.
trying to feel that Garden atmosphere. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
hey,
I felt the
bro,
Philly atmosphere plenty of times, and
man.
it's crazy. But I'm definitely trying to feel the Garden.
I went I went to a Knicks Grizzlies game last year. John Morant watching he didn't even warm up. Dude just walked out the back with like 2 minutes left and did a couple layups and danced around. Got a triple double actually, and we lost. But the
So,
best time I've ever had in my life doing anything, like the atmosphere in the Garden, ridiculous. And for the playoffs against Philly, I'm ready to
woo,
move them
yeah,
coins. I'm ready to move
yeah.
them coins. I'm ready to move them. I'm ready to move them coins. I think I'm right with you, man. That's definitely what I'm looking forward to. You know, if we don't get that one, Clippers Mavs definitely takes the cake. I mean, Suns Wolves will
For
be fun to
sure.
play. You know, all these series really have something to look forward to. Really, you know, Bucks Pacers has a little storyline. Cavs Magic's got that old school feel to it. You know, say is if it's Miami and Boston, you know, that'll be
Rematch
fun
of
too. You
conference
know what I'm saying?
finals.
So OKC versus anybody
Could
is
possibly
going to be
have
fun.
both conference finals rematches in the first round.
Exactly, exactly. So you know, Denver, LA, man, it's the best time. It's the best time of the year. Last two questions, man. We're gonna wrap the pod up, man. So, who is your playoff sleeper this season? It could be
Like
this
team or player.
team. We're not doing players because this is Jalen Brunson, Finals MVP. Give me a team. Though.
I
Give me
mean,
your
like
sleeper.
I don't want
It's
to
not.
feel like a home. I don't want to feel like a homer, but like
It's okay.
7 seed Sixers, like we about to grace the Eastern Conference Finals. Like that's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, you get the 7 seed. You get by the Knicks. You got a shot, man. You got a shot because the way Milwaukee's playing, I'm sure y'all want to see that. I
I'll
mean,
take it.
if you by some odd chance get the Pacers, that's a sweep.
Barbecue chicken.
So I'm not mad at that. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I'm not gonna go with that. I'm going to go with the Suns. What are they? The 6 seed, I think. 6 seed Suns.
All right, if I can be realistic, I'll say Mavs.
Okay, I like that. I like the Mavs.
I think Mavs get to the Western Conference Finals this year.
I would love to say the Lakers, but like it don't really like that. I feel like they're like the 7 seed that everybody still thinks can win it all. Of course, like everybody's gonna be like, "Is
But the
LeBron?"
only thing is, if they're the 7 seed, then they can't win it all because they got to run into Denver. But if they're the 8 seed, I could easily see them getting to back to the conference finals.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's why I'm a roll with the Suns. I think the Suns,
Yeah,
you
they might have
know,
to sit AD and Bron tonight. I ain't gonna lie. This
not
conference
this
finals are first
this
round loss. They
this.
might have to sit Brown and AD tonight.
No,
That's crazy.
Nell is the only person that loves the competitive nature of the old school NBA and will then vouch for
I'm
matchup
just
hunting in 2024. That don't make
because
sense.
I'm just thinking about it. Like, look, it already happens. Like teams are already doing it, so
Bro, Adam Silver is going to lose his mind if
he
AD
would.
and Bron come out here and don't do it. No, that would be, bro. I'm
Hey,
excited,
back
man.
spasms, back
Hey,
spasms. That's all.
we got 40 minutes. We got 40 minutes. Let me hear your finals preview. Who do you see? What's your finals matchup? You don't got to tell me who wins yet. Just give me your finals matchup.
I'm gonna go Denver and Sixers.
Predictable. Predictable.
All right, it's
It's
probably gonna
okay.
be Denver and Boston. Denver, Boston.
You
I
ruined
lost
it.
my Sixers. Like
You ruined it.
make a miracle run.
The last.
Those the only two teams that can come out the East.
Let me look at my phone. The last two players of the month. The players of the month for this month
I saw.
were Jalen Brunson and Nikola Jokic.
That means nothing for the playoffs though. So
My NBA
this is team of the month.
my NBA finals matchup is the Denver Nuggets versus the New York Knicks.
Predictable.
You saw what
Are
we
we
just did to Boston.
are we gonna get a serious?
Boston.
Are
I'm
we
not
gonna get a
getting.
serious answer now? Are you
Yeah,
talking about Boston that locked up the 1 seed and had absolutely nothing to play for?
then why did they play?
Cardio.
Exactly.
They like
No,
I just
they won't
want to have a
know
little
cardio.
shape
Won't know
so that way
cardio.
when we get to the playoffs I ain't too winded.
Okay.
I mean,
What they were was afraid of the Knicks, and they said, "Well, we need to see what this is like." Missoula said, "I need y'all to see what we got to defeat to go to the finals. Let's get a little taste of it." Pause.
all right. So
And and what?
do you have like a legit answer, like a legit prediction? Like you saw, I was just playing around and I gave a real one. So I thought you was just
Yeah.
joking around,
Let me check
and
my
now
phone.
you gonna
Let me
give a
check my
real one.
let me check my notes on my phone. Yeah, Knicks Nuggets is what I got written down. Bro. Orange and blue skies. Orange and
Damn,
blue skies is gonna be great. My roommate's actually walking in right now. Let me
you
ask him.
set yourself up.
Knicks Nuggets NBA Finals.
Don't say this shit to me.
See, man, I'm with him. Ain't
Hey,
nobody trying to hear that.
you already missed the Kawhi segment, brother. He's on here. This is our first guest on the show that's not Walt. And now the man is honest. And I think that is the perfect way for us to wrap this episode up, man. We got about 50 minutes before the play-in out west. We're gonna get into this. The NFL draft is next week as well, in the middle of all of this. We might get Knicks. If we
Good
get
time of the
Knicks
year.
and Packers, we might have to hop on this joint and do like a live stream or something, and so I can just look at you be sick all game.
Oh,
Get
we
get you
smoking on some Knicks
Walt,
pack.
we can do that on here too. I don't care what you want. We can have the whole group chat. Every Sixers fan can come in this joint and talk to me, and I will be happily waiting, happily. But that's not a here nor there. The Sixers did not take care of business during the regular season and therefore have not locked up a seed to the playoffs. So we will hold our horses.
I guess.
We will hold our horses until that happens. So
Tell the whole story.
y'all lost the MVP. That's fine.
Okay.
We lost. Jalen Brunson carried the Knicks without Julius, without OG.
Don't compare. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't do that, yeah.
All right.
You know you ain't right for that. Don't do that.
I'm sorry. Do you have anything for the people to leave off with, man?
Trust the process.
Trust the process, man. It's orange and blue skies around here. Knicks tape is back. We might have a Knicks Sixers matchup, man. 2 for 2 is about to get nasty. I'm excited, man. The playoffs are here. Let us know what series y'all most excited about. Who you got in the finals. If you agree with me, don't hesitate to tell. Hey, let me know. If you disagree, let me know too. I mean, if the funny thing is now, if I would have said something else, if I would have been like, "Oh, Nuggets Celtics," everybody would have been like, "Predictable." It's you pick the two best teams.
Sometimes the predictable one is the right one. What can we say?
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I'm gonna go with my Knicks, man, and I'm gonna go with the Nuggets. That's gonna do it for 2 for 2 today, man. That's episode 36. 6, man. The NBA playoffs are here. We just hit the 1 hour mark now. So that'll do it. All of y'all, we appreciate the love. We appreciate all the followers, the subscribers on the YouTube channel, the people that rock with us on TikTok. People that just rock with us, man. Quis and Nell, we rock with y'all too. So keep showing us love. It's gonna be real interesting on here, real interesting on social media. The playoffs. We only post on Thursdays, so we'll get some individual stuff in between there. Me and Nell might hop on here and just get some little banter going back and forth one day and just drop it. You never know. We'll see what happens. The Sixers got to make it first though. So as always, 2 for 2. We love you, and we out. Peace.